particularly honored and glad that we're able to have this partnership with CISI, given that they are the professional body of choice for professionals in the securities and investments industry in the UK. And without question, that London is the leading global financial center of the day. And we're also glad to see that CISI are providing and rolling out these programs in a number of both developed and developing jurisdictions. Within emerging markets, they have programs running in Egypt, Qatar, Oman, UAE, Morocco, and more recently Uganda. So I think we're in very good company as we look to introduce these standards. In about September of 2014, we entered the MOU with CISI, and since then we've been working very closely with them with the support of FSDA to complete what we'll be presenting here today is mainly the first phase, but it is a first phase of ultimately 3 steps. That the first phase is the international introduction of securities and investments for Kenya, which will be followed with phase 2, which is targeting a much more focused certification testing around local specific standards. The process, I'm glad to say, has been very systematic. There's been a number of very proactive industry engagement sessions that led to a pilot run of this curriculum and the test in approximately end of November last year. I'm very proud to say that the CMA as an entity really took the lead, and we have had 13 of our staff have already sat this exam and successfully passed it. We've also had the opportunity to bring in a number of our partners who may be able to provide training and testing training services in this, and at least 5 of them have come through, have set the exam, and have successfully passed. So we believe this really provides a very clear platform and foundation for now the much wider community within the financial sector in Kenya to come forward and start taking these standards and moving up the chain. Now, I think it's important for us to note that although certification is going to be mandated for, as we said, the client-facing members of staff, we would also really encourage you to work with your teams in other functionalities to also start building these skills, because it not only strengthens them to be able to move, have a bit more flexibility to move within the business, but it also overall raises the awareness and standards across all sides of the business to make sure that we're supporting transparency, efficiency, and high-quality service delivery in our approach to our businesses.
We've got 5 what we'd call full-fledged international offices, so they have their own infrastructure and teams of between 4 and 8. We also have representation in Africa with our colleague Andrea here, who is based here in Kenya, but just part-time, and a similar arrangement in Nigeria. So what is the mission of the CISI? Well, very similar to both other professional bodies, but also regulators, there are key themes that come out there, really to promote professional excellence, to develop professionalism within our industry, and to help drive forward its growth. So that's both within the industry itself, and that's led by individuals and individual members. Because going back to the professionalism side and how the CISI's activities reflect that, in terms of knowledge, we look at how people attain their competence. So qualifications, one of the main themes of today's presentation, and how it all begins. Then the maintenance of that competence, so recognising that getting an exam is not going to carry you forward for the next 30, 40 years of your career, and that you need to maintain that competence, keep up to date with what's going on, changes in regulation, changes in global events. So that's through membership and continuing professional development. And then finally there's the promotion of trust. So individuals signing up to a code of conduct, codes of behaviour. That can be locally through their regulators, through their firms, but also through professional bodies such as the CISI. So a bit more about why CISI qualifications. and sort of I think it's important here to stress the difference between academic and vocational qualifications. I'm sure many people in the room here have got bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, often see PhDs within the industry, but they're more academically focused. And what the CISI really focuses on is the vocational education. So the common benchmark standard that we believe every practitioner in the industry, from within 1 or 2 years of entering, should have the opportunity to do. By having these sort of benchmark standards, it really brings the entry level of the industry up to a common standard, whatever country you're in. So practitioners here would have the same level of knowledge when speaking to their colleagues around East Africa, Africa, or internationally. So the final pillar of what we do, and I know crosses across all the professional bodies and regulators, is the promotion of integrity and ethics within the industry. So every student member will be asked to sign up to our code of conduct and our principles before they can sit an exam, and then that will extend if they continue their membership with us. But what it comes down to for us is every action that you do within the industry as an individual, is it honest, open, fair and transparent? If you asked yourself those questions each time, would you pass the test?
My journey started in 2000 actually. I'd worked for equity stockbrokers. I'm happy to see Mr. Kianda work together. And I don't know where else. But I used to have challenges going to see clients because they would ask me questions I can't answer. Why? Because all I have is academic paper. I don't have a professional knowledge of the financial markets. So I kept on asking myself, what do I need, to break through to be able to talk to fund managers, to big banks? And the solution was, I remember I was just sitting in the office with a very close friend of mine, Robert Mbunye, who is a director at Centum today, and another gentleman called Edward Gitai of Old Mutual. And they told me, Boniface, you can do this course. And I was like, where is it found? They told me it's found in UK. So how do I get to UK? Then I realized that you could do a correspondence. And I remember doing my first exam at still ICA building, the British Council. There was a small office there. So we'd go there and do our exams. But I kept on flopping. 3 times. Then I realized I actually needed to now have face-to-face training. And I packed my bags, went to the UK in 2000. And I would encourage many, many people to take this course. And not only this, go all the way, get to the global award. When I qualified, I came back to Nairobi, I never forget, November 18th, 2005. Finished my exams and my bags were downstairs. Couldn't wait to come back to Nairobi. When I went to the office, my old office, and I told my boss, I'm back. I'm qualified now. And I had a challenge in terms of, now I had the knowledge. Everything that I was scared about before, it was with me. And I had the confidence. So I went to the market and I started from zero without a client. So because of the financial knowledge that I had, I started, calling at the right time. Many people don't know that there's cold calling. I'm sure, people just call anybody at whatever time. But when you go through this qualification, you learn so much about being a professional. You will learn, you won't believe it. Some things we do, even in the lift, you can probably hear somebody mentioning something which is probably misleading or in the insider dealing, and they don't know. They don't know they are doing the wrong thing at all. And so I would encourage many, many people to learn this so that they understand what this market is all about. It's not just about selling an instrument or selling a stock. No. There's a lot more than just going out there or calling or making your commissions. So integrity is very, very key in our business. Today, I'm proud to say that I do a turnover of probably 4 billion shillings in a year. Probably have 10 billion shillings under my management. And these are different clients I've managed to collect. Those 10 years I've come back. Before, I didn't have anything. So that could give me a bragging right to say that I'm an authority in the market, yes, but in private client services. When I say private client services, here, locally, we'd refer it to retail. But professionally, actually, it is private client, high net worth people. So that is what I did a gap analysis when I came, and I saw there was a gap in people serving individuals, high net worth. So I took that path. I left fund managers, institutional investors, and I focused on that. And because what I learned is, when I picked that route, people are willing to invest through the stock market, but they have one problem. They lack people who could give them proper information, not misleading. Again, on top of that, CRM, customer relationship, it's very, very key. Even after passing the exams, that one is very, very key. I used to, for me to be where I am today, I can tell you I used to even go to people's houses, right? I used to go serve a client in their house. I used to go Parklands, everywhere here, and I used to take a taxi. And I still do that today. If a client wants my services, to be honest with you, I'll go to their office, I'll go to their house. So don't expect to sit back in the office and wait for that client to call. Just make sure that you serve the client where they are, and I'm sure you go very far. That's what I've done. Thank you so much.